All right, we get ready to go. Qualifying for the UARA National Touring Series. And the first one out on the Speedway, one of our regulars here at Owosso Speedway. This young lady out of Pinckney, Michigan in the Varsity Ford, Varsity Lincoln Ford. Number 22, Clarity Patton.
Yeah, regular on Saturday nights in our late model sportsman division, making the step up here tonight. I believe this is her first start in the National Touring Late Model Series.
She'll take the green flag. She'll get the green, then white, then checkers. So she'll get the best of her 2 laps. As right now she's struggling to find some speed. She was at the bottom of the speed chart earlier on today during practice.
And a 15.485, 15.485 will be the first lap time for Clarity Patton.
And that was a pretty nice pickup for her. Her best lap was a 15.942 in practice. So she picks up about a half second.
Went a little wide on exit, loses some time as a result. 15.576 will be the second lap.
So she'll sit on that 15.485 will be her lap. As Lanehead making his way out in car number 15, the 2023 runner-up in the Owosso Late Model Sportsman point standings in the Canterbury Construction Duco Performance, number 15 out of Middleville.
Also done time the last couple seasons in an Outlaw Super Late Model as well. He'll come around, take the green flag.
Lane, it looks like they're going from slowest to fastest. So Lane's best lap was a 15.451. Let's see what he does here as he gets ready to complete his first lap.
And a 15.415, 15.415.
So a touch better. That puts him top of the board between himself and Clarity Patton. See if he can pick it up here on lap number 2.
He does. 15.239, 15.239.
As he now will have your fast qualifying lap as Kendrick Cryers, number 97. Next on the track in the race car engineering, Elvis Enterprise Chevrolet out of Wisconsin, Dells, Wisconsin.
He has had a lot of success over in Wisconsin in the Tundra Series, as well as a couple victories earlier this year at Golden Sand Speedway in their limited late model division. And that's quick time so far, 15.134, 15.134.
So he picks up about 0.3 of a second from his practice times.
And first one in the 14s, 14.914. Just realized I announced his warm-up lap. So his first lap time of 14.914, 14.914.
Looks like that's what he's going to stand on there, Chris. 14.914 will be his best out of 2.
Yeah.
So right now he's the lap time to beat.
Dropped off a little bit on that second lap, as we mentioned, 14.970. But right behind him is his teammate. See if he can do a little bit better.
Yeah, and the race car engineering, Elvis Enterprises Chevrolet out of Palmetto, Florida, in car number 97. This is Nick Neary. Nick Neary in the 97.
Yeah, Nick began his racing career in open wheel, actually has a couple victories in the SCCA Formula Atlantic, or Formula Lights, excuse me, where he picked up victories at tracks including VIR, Virginia International Raceway, before making the transition over to the circle track ways. And a 15.016, 15.016 will be the first lap time.
Get another 0.3 of a pickup from practice on the 97. K of Kendrick Cryer, or I'm sorry, Nick Neary.
And slows down on the second lap. He'll stay second quick, a 15.033, 15.033.
So Cryer stays atop the board as we bring out third generation driver in the Prestige Steel number 45 Ford out of Clarkston, Michigan. This is Michael Simcoe. Michael Simcoe in the number 45.
And Michael's seen some template-bodied action here at the Owosso Speedway earlier in the year as well.
Yeah, had an 11th place finish in the Pure Michigan 200 after a 10th place qualifying effort, so pretty consistent.
Spent a little bit of time early in the practice session at the top of the board. And he'll move to the top here, 14.855, 14.855.
Again, just shy of 0.3 of a second. That seems to be the norm right now. Most of these drivers picking up at least 0.3 of a second from their practice efforts.
And a 14.892, so we will keep the first lap.
Next up, in the race car engineering Ford out of Lakeland, Florida in car number 1. This is Steve Dorer. Steve Dorer in car number 1.
Former winner of the Red Bud 400 and also a former track champion down at Owosso Speedway before he headed down south to Florida.
Also picked up the win in 2021 at the Florida Fest 150. His best in practice was a 14.981. So we'll see if he gets himself in the 6s as he gets ready to make that first official lap.
And a 14.885, 14.885, puts him second quick so far.
And not as big of a pickup as the drivers that have already been out on the track.
Oh, there he goes to the top of the boards, a 14.803, 14.803. That is fast time so far for Steve Dorer in the number 1.
Billy Van Meter, car number 23, now attempts to make the circle here. One of the drivers out of Indianapolis, Indiana, in the Edco Welding, Maston and Kane Warehousing, number 23. Billy Van Meter. Saw Billy a couple weeks ago as well. Had a respectable finish.
And he put up the most laps in practice earlier today, so he's put in a lot of time trying to get this track figured out.
During practice, his best was a 14.94. Then he'll complete lap number 1 here momentarily and see if he's picked up any from practice.
A little bit, 14.868, 14.868 is the first lap time.
Now keep in mind the fastest in practice was a 14.727. So they're not too far off of that.
Slows down a bit on the second lap of 14.924. So that'll put Van Meter third on the charts based on his first lap time.
Your next qualifier in the Town and Country Carpet Quick Time Auto, number 20 Toyota out of Greenville, Michigan. This is Austin Hull. Austin Hull in car number 20.
Yeah, Austin has limited runnings with the UARA National Tour. Has 3 top 10s, though, all of them coming at his home track at the Berlin Raceway.
His best lap in hot laps, 14.932. So we'll see if he'll pick up any there as he takes that green flag.
$15.043, 15.043.
So one of the few that have been slower than their practice time.
Yeah, only able to muster 6th quick out of 8 cars so far. And it does pick up a little bit, moves up to 5th quick with a 14.957, 14.957.
Well, as a driver that's found victory lane in 2024 here at Owosso Speedway in the Hutchinson Construction Toyota out of Wayland, Michigan. Car number 24 is Dylan Stovall. Dylan Stovall in the 24.
Yeah, Dylan's still kind of a emerging talent in the late model world. Has started traveling more the last couple seasons. Still looking for that real breakthrough victory on one of these big touring events, but has been in contention many times.
Stovall in practice was a 14.928. Actually, the top 8 or 9 of our drivers here today were within a 1/10 of a second of each other.
Oh, pretty big slowdown for him as well, a 15.047, 15.047 for the 24 Dylan Stovall. So he's looking for a big pickup here. We'll see what happens. And a 14.933, 14.933. That's good for fifth quick.
As Blake Rowe makes his way out in the Lisa Thomas Salon TK Racing number 71 Chevrolet. Blake Rowe out of Ortonville, Michigan, who's been having quite a season.
Yeah, he's got a couple victories in the crate late models. Current points leader in the JEG CRA All-Stars Tour.
His best lap was a 14.817. As right now, the middle of the pack just seems to have stymied themselves, not really making vast improvements like we saw at the back of the pack, at least for qualifying.
Yeah, 15.023 for Blake Rowe. Only good enough for eighth quick so far on his first lap.
0.2 of a second slower than he was earlier this afternoon.
Had a little bit of a bobble out of turn 4, but does pick it up to a 14.951, 14.951. That's sixth quick for Rowe in the 71.
As Chase Berta, the 2023 JEGS Tour champion in the Lapeer Pool and Spa Toyota out of Lapeer, Michigan. He had a 14.811 in practice as Chase Berta comes around to anticipate taking that green flag here momentarily. Top 10 finish at the Michigan 200 just a couple of weeks ago. A Master of the Pros winner here at Owosso Speedway. So let's see what the regular Chase Berta, he's going to go up to second quick, Chris.
Yeah, he showed a lot of pace earlier on today.
That is just about where he qualified or practiced. 14.814 was that lap time, and he goes to the top of the board with a 14.782. We got a new fast qualifier, 14.782 for Chase Berta.
Well, here's a name that's been absolutely tearing things up in the Outlaw Late Model ranks the last month or so. Just picked up a victory here in the Reveal the Hammer Tour in the Ron Hauser Memorial, and now is back behind the FLF race cars, number 90 out of Brighton, Michigan. This is Kyle Crump. Kyle Crump in the 90.
Crump was fourth quickest in practice with a 14.759. Right now trying to best the 14.782 that the previous qualifier Chase Berta laid down.
Well, he just came through with the quickest warm-up lap of anybody so far, if that's indicative of what we're looking at. And 14.829, 14.829. That puts Crump third quick so far. And there we go, top of the charts, a 14.663, 14.663 fast time so far for Kyle Crump in the 90.
Nice 1/10 of a second pickup, as now it's Evan Shotko's turn to try to get fast time here as we start to run out of qualifiers. Evan Shotko in the Shotko Motorsports Baker Auto Group Toyota out of Coopersville, Michigan in that number 22 machine. Now Evan in practice at a 14.746, which right now would only be good enough for second quick. Let's see what he does on his first official lap.
Well, he goes third quick, a 14.798, 14.798. First lap time for Shotko in the 22. And moves up to second quick, a 14.780, 14.780. Moves up to second, just 2/1000ths of a second quicker.
Well, here's the guy you came to see, the Vast Racing Products Toyota, formerly from Byron, Michigan, now in Huntersville, North Carolina. Eric Jones in car number 4. Eric Jones in the 4. Eric was your second fastest in practice. 14.731 is what he put down. They've been thrashing on that car all afternoon long.
Well, his warm-up lap put him second quick, so I'm going to say there's some speed underneath the hood of that Toyota. Already has a win with the series earlier this year at the Jennerstown Speedway, and actually slows down on that lap of 14.809, 14.809. That would put him sixth quick. And 14.767, 14.767. That'll be good for second quick.
And here comes your final qualifier, the fastest in practice in the painstaking art tattoo machine out of Naples, Florida. It's Michael Atwell in car number 14, the number 14 of Michael Atwell.
Yeah, Michael's had a lot of success down south over the years. This is really his first season kind of venturing out of that Florida, Georgia area, and seeing some good speed out of him as he was quickest in practice. Two-time winner of the Bill Bigley Senior Memorial.
And recently a fourth place finish at Berlin back early August.
And backs up practice with a fast time, 14.609. As he's the final qualifier, this one's just for bragging rights at this point.
Right.
And does slow down to 14.639, so he'll stand on that first lap. 14.609, that's fast time for Michael Atwell in the 14. Kyle Crump in the 92nd quick with a 14.663. Eric Jones third in the number 4 with a 14.767. Then the 22 of Evan Shotko with a 14.780. Chase Berta fifth with a 14.782. So a stout field of cars we have here. We're going to get to work on getting things ready. We'll have an autograph session coming up here in just a little bit as well. And that'll be it for us here today. Love's Travel Stops 150 here at the Owosso Speedway.
Your attention in the infield, your attention in the infield. Drivers, please stay by your cars. Drivers, please stay by your cars, please. And a big congratulations down there is Michael Atwell getting the big check for fast qualifier here this afternoon. His first fast qualifying win of his career here in the UARA series. So congratulations, and we'll see. There's going to be some sort of invert here as they're going to work on that. We'll get you a lineup, and we'll give you kind of a rundown of what our activities will be here for this late afternoon show here at Owosso Speedway. We appreciate it. Stick by, stand by, and we'll be back here in just a little bit. Well, Chris, I'm looking at the size of that die there, and I would tell you that I would not want to go over there and play Yahtzee at their place.
The dice aren't actually that big. The kid's just really small.
Oh, I gotcha. So we're going to, I believe it's 4 plus the roll of the dice. I believe.
No, it's just the dice roll.
It's just the roll of the dice.
Just the
Okay,
dice roll.
for the invert here, as Michael Atwell will get the opportunity to find out where he's going to start.
Or if he doesn't like the number, if he rolls a 6, maybe we'll get to see Michael Atwell beat up a small child.
All right, we're going to roll that dice, and down the track it goes. Oh, he's hoping for a 1. It's still rolling. Oh, this seems familiar. Well, it's going to be a 2. Oh, I was going to say it's either going to be a 1, 6, 2, or 4, but now it's going a little wonky. And it's going to be a not quite fair.
It's got to get that wall eventually.
Oh,
it's a
no!
6. All right, invert of a 6. That's going to put Steve Dorr and Chase Berta on your front row for the Loves Travel Stop 150. Evan Shotko and Eric Jones will start on row number 2. Then Kyle Crump and Michael Atwell will be row number 3 inside of that invert.
Michael, I'd make sure that that dice is not loaded.
Michael Atwell was smiling awfully nice for that kid, forcing him to start as far back in the field as he possibly could.
Couldn't hear what he was saying through his teeth.
Yeah. Is that a smile or gritted teeth? Yeah, good point. All right, so I believe coming up here shortly we have a couple of our ride and drives that'll be going through, and then we'll set you guys loose for autographs to meet the starters of the Loves Travel Stop 150 coming up here later on. Also want to welcome our friends from Alderman's Kubota that are going to be here today if they are already here. We use their vehicles all over this place week in and week out, so we appreciate their help with making that possible. So we'll get things wrapped up here with our pre-race stuff, and then we'll get ready to roll here for our full night of fun.
Yeah, big thanks to Loves Travel Stops for the sponsorship of the Loves Travel Stops 150. Their dedication to auto racing here at Owosso Speedway, a generous sponsorship of one of the main reasons why your general admission, just $14 or less on a regular race night, and a big sponsor of this event. Founded in 1964, Loves Travel Stops and Country Stores, headquartered in Oklahoma City. With over 600 locations across 42 states, they offer 24-hour access to clean and safe facilities for purchasing gasoline, diesel fuel, compressed natural gas, travel items, electronics, snacks, and restaurant offerings. Love's Truck Care provides heavy-duty tire care, including tire pass, light mechanical services, and roadside assistance. Love's Hospitality operates a network of hotels and storage rental locations. Additionally, Love's Financial offers freight bill factoring and back-office support to professional drivers. With more than 38,000 employees, the Love's family of companies includes Travel Stops, Speedco locations, Country Stores, corporate offices in Oklahoma City, Musket Corporation, Trillium, and Gemini Motor Transport for nationwide fuel transportation. Their dedicated employees strive to assist customers and support the communities they serve. For further details about the Loves family of companies and their comprehensive services, please visit loves.com. So what's going on right now on the Speedway? This is our two-seater modified that you can purchase the opportunity to ride in. For $60, you get 2 laps. For $100, you get 4 laps around the Speedway. Brent Forrest behind the wheel of the modified here today, taking one of our purchasers on this ride. And then on regular race nights, we do have the opportunity for a $5 ticket. You can get into the drawing for a ride for 5. You get 5 laps around the Speedway. But if you're interested in maybe purchasing an opportunity to ride along, drive or ride at OwossoSpeedway.com is our email address. Drive or ride at OwossoSpeedway.com, where you can ask the staff, hey, I'd like to purchase 2 laps or 4 laps, and we'll make a connection with you, and we'll schedule you a time to come out and get your rides around the Speedway in that two-seater modified. You can always check out our Facebook page or our website for more information on our Drive or Ride program here at Owosso Speedway. as we get set for the autograph session coming up here in a little bit, I'm down here at the Eric Jones Foundation tent, and Danny's one of the folks here spreading the information about the Eric Jones Foundation. And for those that might not be familiar with the foundation, if you could enlighten some of the fans on what you guys do and maybe how they can get involved.
Well, the foundation is called 3 Reasons to Race. Eric does books for kids, helps with animals, and the main thing is melanoma cancer research. And you can either go online and look up Eric Jones Foundation, or come up to the table here, and we've got pamphlets and stuff. It's just a very good cause, and plus he's also involved in the breast cancer, and with the window nets. That'll be driven by the drivers in a couple weeks, and they'll be all auctioned off.
So yeah, I noticed you had the pink window net here on the table, and people have the opportunity to bid on that?
Not this one, but after the race at the Rowe, we'll pick up every car net from every driver. They'll sign them, and then they'll be up for auction on the foundation's page.
Fantastic. What a great way to raise some funds. And you guys have some gear here as well that can also help the foundation.
Yeah, we have T-shirts, hoodies, koozies, free sunscreen.
Not bad today.
No, it helps.
Especially when we have hairlines that we do. I'm talking to myself, of course.
Yeah, speak for yourself.
So come down here, and you guys are going to be here for probably a few more minutes set up here. I know you guys want to watch the race as well, but if you get a chance, talk to Danny and the folks here at the Eric Jones Foundation, and they can give you more information.
Yes, we can, and good luck, Eric.
All right, thank you so much. All right, folks, we're changing this up, but for the better for you fans. We're going to let you out here momentarily for your autograph session. And we're going to let you fans be on the front straightaway when we do our opening ceremonies at 6 o'clock. So that way you'll be able to see our flyover as well. That's going to be happening, so we can let the fans out at any point. And we'll do our opening ceremonies while you guys are down there schmoozing with your favorite drivers. Drivers in the infield, if you would please make your way to your cars. Drivers in the infield, please make your way to your cars. We do want to remind you folks, as you go out onto the speedway, please, no alcoholic beverages out on the track, please. Chantel Swan, if you could meet me at the flag stand, please. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Owosso Speedway. Those of you that are on the front straightaway, we're going to start our opening ceremonies here. We appreciate you coming out on this Wednesday. Are we excited to get rolling with our UARA National Series Loves Travel Stop 150 today? I know most of you are in line and whatnot, but we're ready to start our pre-race ceremonies. If I could have everyone please rise. We do want to remind our active military members that if you are retired or active military, you may keep your hats on during the playing of the national anthem while rendering the military salute. But with today being Patriots Day, want to take a moment today. We gather to commemorate Patriot Day, a solemn occasion that reminds us of the resilience and strength of our nation. On this day, we reflect on the tragic events of September 11th, 2001, when our world was forever changed. Nearly 3,000 lives were lost, and countless families were impacted by the horrors of that day. As we remember the heroes who rushed into danger to save others, the first responders who selflessly put their lives on the line, and the ordinary citizens who showed extraordinary courage, we are reminded of the spirit of unity that emerged in the face of adversity. Patriot Day is not only a time to mourn, but also a time to honor the enduring values of freedom, hope, and resilience that define us as a nation. Let us take this moment to reflect on the sacrifices made and the lessons learned, and to recommit ourselves to fostering a world of peace and understanding. Now, I invite you all to join me in a moment of silence to honor the memory of those we lost and to stand in solidarity with their families. Thank you. Please bow your head in prayer as leading us in prayer today, our head score person, Mr. Emerson Ford.
Let's pray. Dear Lord, we come to you today humbled as we gather together on an anniversary of a great tragedy, Lord. And I just pray that we would remember those that sacrificed their lives to save the lives of others, Lord. Lord, I want to thank you for the brave men and women that were there that day, and the brave men and women that continue to serve and fight for this freedom that we have in this country, Lord. It's that freedom that allows us to come here today and enjoy this passion of racing, Lord. I thank you for the safety of the drivers as they came to the track today, Lord, and I just pray that you would continue to keep them safe as they race around this great track, Lord. And thank you for the crew and the staff that put this show on, Lord. And I just pray that you be with our safety crew and give them guidance and safety as well as they work to keep our drivers and our fans safe. And thank you for everyone that made it out here today safe, Lord, and just be with them, protect them. And Lord, I just pray that we would have a great show. In your name we pray. Amen.
And now to honor our friends from the North, to sing the Canadian National Anthem, followed by the American National Anthem. Please welcome Miss Chantel Swan.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot, in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land and of the free and the home of the brave.
Chantal Swan, everybody, as you saw the first of our 4 flyovers. Chris, tell us a little bit about the planes we're going to see here coming overhead.
Absolutely. These are the Screamin' Rebels that are flying ahead right now. Flint's hometown Flyboys, based out of Flint Bishop International Airport. The Warbird Group started in 1992, and the founder was Jim Greason. Jim served in the United States Air Force as a combat pilot. When Jim retired from the Screamin' Rebels, Bruce Koch took over as chief pilot. The planes are from World War II. Today, the Screamin' Rebels are a vintage Warbird squadron that will perform 4 ceremonial flyovers in honor of the men and women that perished on 9/11. The last pass will be the missing man formation, an aerial salute performed typically in memory of a fallen pilot, a well-known military service member or veteran, or a well-known political figure. In all cases, the aircraft performing the pull-up, split-off, or missing from the formation is honoring the person or persons who have died for our country, and it represents their departure with a smoke trail into the heavens. Our lead ship, Bruce Koch, is flying today a Vultee BT-13 SNV-1, similar to a Texan. The other ship flying with Bruce is a North American Aviation AT-6 Texan, flown by Dave Folk, a single-engine advanced trainer aircraft used to train pilots of the United States Army Air Forces, United States Navy, Royal Air Force, and other air forces of the British Commonwealth during World War II. For more than 6 decades after its design in 1937, the North American AT-6 Texan was used throughout the world as advanced trainers, artillery spotters, and as counterinsurgency and fighter bombers by numerous developing countries up to 1982. Tracy Tillman and Lisa Coletti are flying T-34 Mentors, an American propeller-driven single-engine military trainer aircraft. The earlier versions of the T-34, dating from around the late 1940s to the 1950s, were piston engine. The T-34 remains in service more than 7 decades after it was first designed. One of our other squadron aircraft, T-6 Texan, is located at Tuskegee Airmen National Historical Museum in Detroit, once used by the celebrated African-American aviation unit Red Tails. That is not flying today. The rest are based throughout Michigan.
And that will conclude our opening ceremonies. We'll do driver introductions in a little bit later on here. We're going to let you have about another 20 minutes or so for the autograph session here on the front straightaway. So you have plenty of time here to meet and greet with your favorite drivers from the UARA Tour. Well, we're down here on the front straightaway, and our pole sitter here tonight, Steve Dorr, in this #1 machine. Steve, I think you might have been very happy to see the fast qualifier roll a 6 today to put you right on the point.
Actually, kind of contrary. I enjoy starting in the middle of the field or the back. I like seeing cars and passing cars. If I had a choice, I'd have a really fast car and start in the back. But this is where I'm starting, and hope we make the most of it and win the race for sure.
Top 10 cars, pretty close, within 1/10 of a second of each other. What's your strategy here to start off the race, at least? I'm going to assume probably hug the bottom for as long as you can until you see something else develop?
I just want to stay out front. Whatever it takes, stay out front, stay out of trouble. Hopefully we're there the last 30, 40 laps and got something to contend with.
Was the car any different between your practice session and your qualifying session?
No, actually, it's finish line car, FLF race cars here out of Michigan. Kyle Crump's driving one of them as well. Both of us had kind of decent cars in practice, and I was happy with my car all day, and we didn't tire up like a lot of them, and so I wasn't 100% certain what to expect during qualifying. But and I'm not a great qualifier to begin with, so I'm 6th and he's 2nd, and that's great for finish line for sure, and race car engineering on my car. Appreciate all their help and support, and then I got some guys here to help me, Ryan and Jimmy and different people, my dad, my family and friends, a lot of guys here that come out to see us, so awesome.
Well, it's great to have you back in Michigan.
Thank you.
You bet. How about it, Steve Dorr, starting on the pole for tonight's Love's Travel Stop 150. And Chase Bird, a very popular man down here on the front straightaway as well. A good qualifying effort, puts him outside of row #1. And we're going to try to sneak in here while Chase is busy signing. Every time I run into Chase, he's busy signing autographs. But, boy, the late model looked pretty good, pretty sporty there in qualifying. How are you feeling about it for the race?
Yeah, I feel good. Brandon Oakley gave me a good piece. Something new for us, a new car, new chassis. So today it took me a little bit to kind of get used to everything, but I think we got this thing pretty balanced. Just kind of got to do my job and keep the fenders on it and be there at the end, but I think we got a real good shot at it.
You got a lot of laps here, obviously. Does the Super make you have to change your points of entry and points of exit more than you've had to before?
Yeah, for sure. I think you're a lot heavier on the brakes in the Super just because you're carrying that more power. But I'm excited to see because I feel like there's a good mixture of pros and supers here today. So it'd be cool to kind of see how things play out and see where they go.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll see you later on the podium.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Chase Bird finish it, are going to be starting outside of row number 1 here in the Love's Travel Stop 150. Well, Evan Shotko sitting inside of row number 2 for this restart. And you look like a lonely man, but you look like you're deep in thought. What's going on upstairs right now?
Yeah, very deep in thought. There's a lot of good cars here. Just got to keep the fenders on it and make a good adjustment at the stop, and I think we'll be there at the end.
Any thoughts of whether or not an upper groove might develop?
I think so. I think the ASA race here started coming in at the end, so I think it's definitely possible, but I think the first half of the race is so the bottom groove is going to be where you need to be.
How much do you think as the sun tries to set, it's cooling down a little bit on this track, how much of a difference do you think that's going to make from your hot lap session, your qualifying session, and then working 150 laps? Because you're going to probably be right about dusk when this thing finishes up. Got to imagine your car is going to change a whole bunch between the start of this race and the end.
It absolutely will. That's why I'm so deep in thought right now, trying to figure out exactly what this thing is going to do. I think I got a good idea, and I guess we'll find out.
Well, good luck to you, Evan Shotko. He's going to start inside row number 2. Good luck.
Thank you.
You bet. Starting on the outside of the outside of the second row, Eric Jones, and I don't want to take up too much of Eric's time because he's got an awfully large line here, but got to feel good to come back home and give it a shot at your old home track.
Yeah, it's great. I haven't been here since 2016. I think was the last time I got to race here, and that was obviously before the repave and everything else that's went on here. And so, yeah, it's great to see it. Excited to be here, and was looking forward to it all year. And so, be fun to see how it races. I haven't got a chance to race on it yet. Just the laps today and figuring it out and trying to keep up. So, been having fun and yeah, excited for the race.
Any similarities from the way it used to be, or is it completely different, or have you? I can't imagine. It's like falling off a bicycle, like you're just getting back on. But I gotta imagine there might be some differences from what you were here last.
It's way different. I don't know if there's too much that I remember that it being like this. It's definitely different for sure. It's got a lot more grip, and the line is a lot different. Running the bottom, we were running kind of high up the track last time I raced here. So yeah, it's way different, but it's fun, and it's just like I said, it's cool to be here, cool to be at home, and hopefully we can put on a good show.
Well, we appreciate you coming. Thank you, Eric.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we'll let him get back to his autographs there as Eric Jones is going to start outside row number 2 for the Love's Travel Stop 150. Kyle Crump, how are you? Second quick today. Not a bad qualifying effort for this number 90 machine.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with it. Didn't know what to expect too much out of it. We knew we were good, but I didn't know if we were as good enough to get pole, and man, we were close. Really wanted it. Really wanted to get one for Tim. I feel like I've qualified second, third, or fourth the 3 times I've been in his car. So, but good effort.
And you're probably going, God, why did he draw anything but a 6 to be in row number 3? What's your strategy to get to the front? You got 150 laps to think about it.
Yeah, he rolled the dice, and then it just wouldn't stop. He had a good roll going where the 1 was on the side that was rolling. I'm like, all right, and then it twisted, hit the wall. But yeah, I don't know. From the ASA race, looks like brakes, big issue here, overheating them, getting them hot, and then once you cook them, you're kind of screwed. So I don't know, maybe ride around a little bit. I'm starting on the bottom, so maybe go for track position early and then chill out. Maybe last 60 or so laps, really get after it.
I was talking to some of the competitors here in front of you. It's going to change a lot. Now the sun's starting to set, and we're in fall. This track's going to cool down a bit. What's your expectation of the car once it does cool off?
I think just speeds are going to pick up, and we're all going to be hunting for the bottom. I really hope the top comes in like it did at the ASA race. At the very end, we saw Dawson Sutton ripping the third groove past like 5 cars. But I don't know. I think it's going to be on the bottom, and it's just going to be a dogfight to get down there.
Well, good luck in this 150 lap race.
Yep, thank you.
We appreciate you being here. Kyle Crump starting inside row number 3, your second quick qualifier here this afternoon. And your fast qualifier today, Michael Atwell in the number 14 machine. And first of all, congratulations on your first fast qualifying win of your career.
Yeah, it's been a good day. Mike Garvey and Chris Davidson brought me a great car, and fast time doesn't pay as much as the race. So see if we can get the checkered.
You draw that 6. One thing about you really backed up your laps from your hot laps from your practice this afternoon, and did even better in the qualifying effort. You think there's still more speed underneath this coming from row number 3?
Yeah, I think we got a lot of consistency in the car. It was driving great earlier. Worked on drivability and just trying to keep it underneath me, and it was consistent the whole practice run there. So I think we got a good piece to fight with. It's all about keeping the nose clean and just working our way through. Be patient.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll see you on the podium, maybe even for that win at the end of 150.
Thank you.
All right, Michael Atwell, your fast qualifier here today in the UARA National Touring Series for the Loves Travel Stop 150. I believe we're pretty close to a 5-minute warning here on autographs. I believe it's a little after 6:20, so 5 minutes on the clock to wind up your autograph session here, so we can allow all these drivers that get strapped behind the wheel and get them rolling for the 150 laps. And Michael Simcoe signing some autographs here as he gets ready to strap in here in just a little bit. You get to start behind the fast 2 qualifiers. Opportunity to maybe stick behind them and find yourself up at the front before too long?
I like to be a little bit optimistic and say I had fast time and I drew a 7. So, they got a lot of really good cars in front of us. Hopefully we can hang with them because we are a crate car and they are all supers. So we'll see how we race.
Well, you gotta think you have the advantage that you have a lot of laps here. Does that ease your mind that, hey, I've got something for these guys?
I've got a lot of confidence coming into the gate off of M21, but the racetrack is 0% like it was 2 years ago. Yeah, it's I love it. I mean, I absolutely love this place, the old and the new. So, really looking forward to getting rolling here and see what we have.
All right, Michael Simcoe going to be starting in row number 4 in this big event. Thank you. And I think I got time for one more. Billy Van Meter in the number 23, going to be outside of row number 4 in this Van Dorn Racing development. In number 23, and you're going to be behind the fast qualifier, so you're going to be on that outside. How are you feeling about the outside groove here?
Honestly, I enjoyed it at the Big O Classic, and I hope that the car is pretty similar. That's what it feels like, and I'm really expecting to make the outside roll for the first 20, 25 laps, but we'll see. I've never ran on these tires before, so I'll have to find out.
Sure. Now, the Big O Classic was under the lights, a little bit cooler. Did you make changes to the car in preparation that, okay, we're in the fall now, that sun goes down, it's going to cool off rather quick, and you had that experience under cool conditions here?
I don't have any experience, but Butch Van Dorn and the Van Dorn development guys definitely do, and they've definitely prepared it well. So I'm expecting it to go well, and as long as I don't make any mistakes, we should be up at front at the end.
All right, sounds good. We appreciate the time, and good luck.
Thank you.
All right, Billy Van Meter, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, the Van Dorn racing cars tend to find their way to the front a lot of times. I remember a young man that, by the name of Johnny, used to find his way to the front a lot on dirt and pavement. All right, drivers, start making your way into your cars, please. Autograph session has been completed. Again, folks, thank you for coming out for the autograph session. Thank you to our drivers for coming out and getting some. Yeah, get off the track, would ya? No, I can't. I don't get paid to be rude like that. It's this way. 50/50 tickets are on sale, by the way. I believe it's Montrose Fire Department selling the 50/50 tickets today. See him making his way through the grandstand. So again, we'll draw 50/50 later on, probably at the finish of tonight's main event. So be sure to buy those 50/50 tickets. Again, the Montrose Fire Department selling the 50/50 here this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, we're down here on the front straightaway, just about ready to get started. Are we ready to go racing, ladies and gentlemen? Well, we can't do it without those most famous words in motorsports, and I've got Wesley and Henry going to help me out. They're going to say those famous words. Go ahead.
Drivers, start your engines!
Hey, nice job!
All right, we're getting set to go for the Loves Travel Stops 150 here at the Owosso Speedway. Great field of drivers on hand. They're going to do a couple parade laps with Old Glory hanging out of the window.
Well, Chris Phoebe, we've waited since June for this Loves Travel Stop 150, and it's finally come to fruition here on Patriot Day, September 11th. And we've got a great field of very competitive, very closely competitive cars ready to battle for 150 laps here today at the Owosso Speedway.
That we do. The field very close in qualifying, especially those first 3 rows. Your scheduled starting lineup is going to be the 1 car of Steve Dorr out of Lakeland, Florida. On pole, Lapeer, Michigan's Chase Berta will be to his outside. Evan Shotko in the number 22 out of Coopersville, Michigan starts 3rd, with Byron, Michigan's Eric Jones starting 4th. From Brighton, Michigan, Kyle Crump of the 90 starts in the 5th spot, followed by the number 14, your fast qualifier, Michael Atwell out of Naples, Florida. Michael Simcoe from Clarkston, Michigan in the 45 starts 7th, with Billy Van Meter out of Indianapolis, Indiana starting 8th. 9th place is Kendrick Cryer out of Wisconsin, Dells, Wisconsin in the number 97, followed by Greenville, Michigan's Wayland, Michigan, Dylan Stovall in the 24. Blake Crow out of Ortonville, Michigan in the 71, followed by the 20 of Austin Hull out of Greenville, Michigan. Then the 97 of Nick Neary out of Palmetto, Florida, the 15 of Lane Head out of Middleville, and the 22 of Clarity Patton out of Pinckney, Michigan. That's going to be your field. 150 laps for the Loves Travel Stop 150 here at the Owosso Speedway.
And it seems like the initial thought in this one is Let's work on track position. See what happens here in the second half of this event. Some of them are a little apprehensive about the top side. Some of them that have had laps here. Kind of excited to see what these McCreary tires are going to do on the Owosso Speedway, especially once we get to the halfway point and beyond, as we get to the pay window opening up in this big, big event here. So glad you could be with us. I'm Roger Williams along with Chris Phoebe, and we're excited as we get the one to go signal. Ladies and gentlemen, how about you make a little noise? Wave your hands, wave your hats. Your favorite drivers are coming on by. $150 laps, Loves Travel stop. 150, about set to happen. Dorr and Berta, your front row. Start to amp up the pace. They come down to the green flag. The Loves Travel stop. 150 is underway.
All right, we thunder off into turn number 1. Dorr has the advantage as Berta falls back into the clutches of Evan Shotko on the inside of that second row. They get a little comfy there coming off of turn number 4 as Berta has a little bit of a moment.
Clean first lap. Everyone giving themselves as much room as possible without giving away too much. Best battle is for that second spot as Berta still hung out on the outside. Shotko looks like he's going to clear him out of 4.
Yeah, a lot of drivers, mostly not by choice out there. Big moment there. The 97 goes around. Looks like he went for a hop off of the left front of the 15, a lane head.
Yeah, Kendrick Cryer. Oh, yeah, and that was the one thing that when I spoke to Head there in the pit area, I said, what's your expectation? What's your realistic expectation of this event? And he's like, just to finish. And boy, already a rough start for that number 15, the Middleville, Michigan native. He knew he was going to be a little bit outmotored there. This would be his pro late or his late model sportsman. He had putting on the big tires, and yeah, you can see the damage there on that left front fender. Heartbreak to start here with just 2 laps complete, and then you've got the 97 of Kendrick Cryer involved over there as well. He went for a wild ride before coming to a stop.
Yeah, Cryer coming along with that Grant Thormeyer team from Florida. He is a native of Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin, has a lot of success over there in the limited late model ranks. But so far here, his race looks like it's coming to an end maybe a little prematurely as you can see the crew over on pit road go to work on the 15, a lane head, trying to get that fender taped back down.
Well, Cryer getting the shove from our Owosso Speedway safety vehicle as the fans from Golden Sands Speedway seeing one of their top drivers have, oh, he's got a lot of damage on that left front of that 97 and on part of that nose piece here. So going to assume he's going to dive into the pit area here on the front straightaway, as well as the old duct tape out for the 15 of Head there as they work on that Duco Performance Cook Farm Equipment number 15. Those of you watching in on Racing America here this evening, it's I don't know if you'd call this a typical fall day here in the center of Michigan. It's been kind of overcast most of the day and low 80s for temperature, but a little whisker of a wind. But perfect racing conditions for September. You never know what you're going to get in Michigan for September.
Well, Lane Head released from his pit stall. He'll head back out onto the track. We have 2 in, 148 to go. Our first caution here in the Loves Travel Stop 150.
Field already doubled up as Steve Dorr, your race leader, Shotko second, Chase Bird third, Eric Jones and Kyle Crump rounding out the top 5 as they'll get the one to go signal. Feel like maybe I gave them the announcer's jinx by talking about everyone giving each other plenty of room on that first lap, and lap number 2.
Yeah, way to go, Roger.
Things fell apart. Because, yes, the first time somebody would actually listen to something I said and do the opposite of.
Yeah, that's never happened.
Never
before.
at all.
All right, field rolling back through the M&K Truck Center restart zone as the green flag is back out.
Dorr got a good jump, but Shotko able to hold with him on the top side. He's going to pull alongside down the back straightaway. Burton by himself in third. Great battle up front. Shotko a little bit loose there in turn number 4.
All right, Steve Dorr continues his shift at the front of the field as Chase Berta tries to get to the inside of Evan Shotko for second. Here comes Eric Jones in the 4. Big run around the outside of the 90 of Crump, dives to the inside of the 18 of Berta. Not yet able to make anything happen.
Yeah, looks like the FLF race cars number 90 of Crump just trying to hold on to that 5th spot. He's got Van Meter right behind him with a good battle going on alongside him with your fast qualifier, Michael Atwell, trying to make some hay here in the early laps.
Yeah, Atwell has been trying so hard to get to the bottom of the track, but Billy Van Meter just not letting him get there. Billy making him work for it for sure. As Van Meter started outside of the invert, so he's got some speed to make up, and he's going to work on your fast qualifier.
Shotko may look to the inside of your race leader. He backs off going into turn number 3. He's really got some speed coming on exit of the corners, but no place to put it with Dora running that inside line. He might be complacent just to run there for a few laps and see if Dora comes up off that bottom.
Yeah, Steve Dorr doesn't look like he keeps it pinned to the line on the exit like Shotko does. But so far, the 22 has not made any motions to capitalize on that yet. And of course, as I say that, he shows Dorr the nose going into turn 3. He's going to stick with it, but backs out on exit.
Yeah, I didn't quite have the line as he went into the corner, and Dorr wasn't going to give it to him, while Chase Berta watches in that 3rd spot. Eric Jones in 4th, and that front 4 has pulled away from the number 90 of Kyle Crump as he leads that second group of cars with Atwell looking to the inside of him.
Field now settled down pretty much single file start to finish as they roll here. We do have a break at the 75 lap mark, so they're racing to that portion of the event. First off, we've had one caution so far as Atwell and Crump now go to work for the 5th position. It's a big gap between your top 4 and then back to Crump and Atwell.
Yeah, about 3/4 of a straightaway, the distance between the 4 of Eric Jones and the 90 of Crump, as they're now just all single file. No one's stepping on a line now. We're just making laps. And then again, as soon as I say that, Shotko going to take a look again. He's to the door this time of Dorr as the battle for the top spot comes down the front straightaway.
Yeah, Shotko and Dorr getting a little snuggly there off of turn 4. Shotko going to have the advantage down the back straightaway.
Berta watching that battle going on in front of him, as is Jones, as they're still side by side up front. Now Shotko takes the lead to himself, and Dorr gets right to the back bumper and gets Shotko loose and out of the groove.
Yeah, Steve Dorr apparently didn't like that pass because he made his feelings well known there as he sends Shotko up the track, and now these two are duking it out at the front of the field.
Seems to be some pretty heavy racing for the top spot here in the first 15 laps. As Berta watching, you wonder how far he wants to push to get in this battle while he watches the front 2 swap paint around this speedway.
Yeah, Chase Berta's back there right now saying, hey guys, this is 150 laps. Can we play nice a little bit? I don't want to get caught up in anyone else's business.
I mean, Dorr already has a tire mark on the inside there as he brings the Shotko machine up to the top groove. Boy, those two right up front are just in a slap fight for that lead. One of them, I'm wondering if they're going to give, but they're racers. They want to lead all 150 laps if they can. And right now, Shotko now with the advantage this time by.
So, Roger, a big difference between this and the other super late model races we've seen this year. These drivers in the UARA are running on that McCreary tire, which, from what I've been told, is a little bit of a harder compound, wears differently. So these drivers seem to be giving it their all here very early on, apparently leaning on that potential reliability on the McCreary rubber. And they may be running a little bit slower on a harder compound, but they're not taking it easy by any stretch of the imagination.
Now Berta now wants his opportunity for the runner-up position. Dorr now stuck to the top side while Berta works the inside. So far, he wasn't able to get much of an advantage. He gets a half-car advantage. His head well off the pace on the front straightaway as your leader's about to go by.
Yeah, looks like he's well down on the apron, going to try to make it back to pit road. So it looks like we'll continue on, but race goes from bad to worse for lane head in the 15. Steve Dorr now shuffled decidedly back to 3rd, Roger, as he's now under assault from the 4 of Eric Jones, who very suddenly has a mirror full of Kyle Crump.
And Dorer had said, you know, yeah, I don't like starting on the front row because I like to see where the other cars are working and use that to my advantage. And this disadvantage right now is he's at the top side and he's not seeing what these other cars are doing, although they're passing him on the inside. As here comes Eric Jones once again battling for that third spot with Dorer.
Yeah, it's looked like in those first 23 laps we've ran, Dorer has had an issue keeping it pinned down to the line at the bottom of the track where the drivers want to run. And that little bit of a bobble he's had where he moves up the track on corner exit has really allowed him to lose a lot of spots. And he's about to lose another one to Eric Jones as he gets to the inside of Dorer coming off at turn 4.
Although I have to say I am pretty impressed that the car is holding well in that second groove here in the early going. He's going to almost clear Jones down the back straightaway, and he will do so, regaining that third spot. But watch the battle just outside the top 5, the 14 and the 23, as Van Meter in the 23 has gotten underneath the 14 of Atwell a couple of times on that back bumper, almost took the 14 up out of the groove before Atwell gathered himself back up. That is a tight and tough battle going on right now outside the top 5.
Well, that 23 of Billy Van Meter put more laps in than anybody in practice today. He is dedicated to figuring out this combination of track and tire, and that hard work is showing off. The qualifying time may not have been there, but he is, a little bit of a move there on the 14 of Atwell as he gets around your fast qualifier at the line.
And again, the battle between Dorer, Eric Jones, and Crump continues. And again, Dorer wins that battle, although he's still committed to that high side. Very interesting to see that Dorer has decided to commit to that, even though the 4 of Jones is not really to his inside for the most of that lap.
I wonder if Steve Dorer maybe found something up there. He'd been fighting the car to try to get to the bottom and running up there anyway. So then once somebody got underneath him and he began to turn laps up in that second groove, Roger, he's, I would say, not only holding his own, but actually doing a little bit better than the 4 car.
I mean, he is only about 3/100ths of a second off of Chase Berta's pace that last lap. So definitely has that speed, at least to maintain. Now, he's able to get some exit speed as he's able to pinch the 4 of Jones down to the bottom, but just not enough to clear that 4 machine yet. And all Kyle Crump can do is go, which one of you guys is going to go in front of the other so I can make a move?
And something we've heard a lot over the course of this season is that you can run in the outside groove for a limited amount of time, but Steve Dorer's been out there for going on probably 8 to 10 laps right now. And again, he's not getting away from Jones, but he is holding Jones at bay.
You know, in that Michigan 200, those closing laps, so we had a couple of cars that found the top side way late in the race, and they picked up a lot of spots in the last 10 laps. So almost, if we work that groove in now, maybe there'll be even more there later on that they can take advantage of. But again, he's just able, Dorer is able to hold off the 4 of Jones lap after lap.
Well, I guess the next time we hear a driver say there's no second groove at the new Owosso, we can just play him this tape. Like, I think it's doing all right, at least for the moment.
Certainly has as they cross the line. Lap 36 in the books. Evan Shotko, your leader. Chase Berta in second. Then it's the Dorer-Jones battle. Dorer right now in third. Jones fourth. Kyle Crump fifth. Atwell in sixth. Then it's Van Meter, Dylan Stovall, Blake Rowe, and Michael Simcoe.
So Evan Shotko has a lot of laps here at the Owosso Speedway over the last couple seasons. He's been in 3 long-distance races here already this season with more planned. And he is yet to visit Victory Lane at Owosso. But right now, he is doing a pretty good job staking a claim at the front of this field.
Boy, Atwell's going to lose 2 spots in the last 2 laps as Dylan Stovall. Problems up front. Eric Jones involved. Dorer involved.
And looks like Simcoe and Hull spin to avoid. Well, those two had been door-to-door for quite a while.
Pretty extensive damage on the right front of the 4 of Eric Jones. We see Dorer has pulled away. Now Jones pulls away.
Yeah, he's able to drive away. I imagine he's going to be heading pit side for the crew to get a look at it.
Yeah, he certainly is there. And you see that nose is definitely discombobulated. The hood bouncing up and down.
Yeah, that's a tough break for your 2-time Southern 500 champion.
Caution comes out at lap 38, 112 remaining as Eric Jones brings the Chase Plastics.
Ooh, that is, yeah, that's
Eric
that's,
Jones Foundation number 4. Yeah, that's
it's
a
like
lot
the
of work.
nose has been ripped right off, just about barely hanging on. Kyle Crump heads pit side as well. Looks like he's got some damage from that incident as well. He was running right behind that battle with Dorer and Jones, so I imagine he probably caught some strays there.
And I'm looking on the one of Dorer, and I'm not seeing any visible damage on the number 1 machine.
We got a couple more cars heading pit side. Chase Berta in the 18 as well as the 14 of your fast qualifier, Michael Atwell.
Interesting strategy for Berta to be heading to the pits. He was in front of the issue, so I wonder if this is a strategic move for track position later on, because he was running in the 2nd spot, clicking off laps just about the same as Shotko was. He was about 1.3 seconds back of your lead, but Atwell was having some problems in the 14. He had lost a couple of spots after battling hard with the 23 of Van Meter, and then Dylan Stovall had just made his way by. That's what I was referring to right when that incident happened there in 1 and 2, but something gone amiss on your fast qualifier, Michael Atwell.
Well, Sam, I don't even know what I was thinking about. Looks like Eric Jones is out of the car. Roger.
I look a lot like Sam. That's a shame. Yes, I see that Eric Jones out of the car.
Yeah, quite a bit. I mean, you can see him not taking much effort to get the nose pulled off of that car. So tough break for Jones. He was running up in the top 5, battling with Steve Dorer for position, but looks like his race is going to come to a premature end.
Unfortunate, because he was pretty excited to be here. He'd shown up earlier in the last week and a half to shake down the car and see the facility, and unfortunately only able to make 38 laps before his afternoon comes to an end.
I am very interested to see how this strategy play might work out for Michael Atwell in the 14. The crew's still at work down there making some kind of adjustment. But that was your fast qualifier who has struggled since the drop of the green. So they obviously need to get some work done on that 14 to make it a little more to Michael's liking. We'll see if he rolls off pit road here shortly.
We did change right side tires. He's going to pull away, and that'll put him at the tail of the field. It'll be fun to watch the 18 of Berta if he makes his way back out. Now Berta's got the hood off of his machine. So Chase Berta, they're taking the hood off and looking in the motor. So something amiss on your 2nd place car.
Well, there is some lot of stuff going on here in the early going. Evan Shotko still continuing out in front.
They're pushing that 18. He is coming back out. Okay, I thought they were going to push him to the middle of the infield. So, not to interrupt you there, I thought there was going to be a story developing.
Well, Berta will have to tag on to the back of the field. So that'll put Billy Van Meter, once everything sorts out, Van Meter will be outside of that front row. Then Dylan Stovall in the 24. 71 of Blake Rowe. We come through the M&K Truck Center restart zone. Green flag is back out.
Boy, Van Meter did not get a very good start there as Shotko able to get a really good start. Van Meter, though, is going to be able to fall into that 2nd spot. Stovall trying to hold on to 3rd, trying to bring Michael Simcoe with him. And they've got a car stuck on the top side. That'd be the 71 of Blake Rowe. A lot of those guys that were inside the top 5, from 5 to 10, have all moved into the top 5 now. And a great battle now about to happen for the first time for Van Meter.
Yeah, Van Meter showing some spirit here. He got the track position by virtue of everyone in between him and Shotko heading pit side. So he's able to... no! Wait.
Good save for Van Meter. We stay green.
But what a heartbreaker. Look at all the spots he's going to give up right before battling for the lead. And through all that, somehow Nick Neary now up to 2nd. Where did that come from?
Right. Yeah, he started pretty deep in the field. And he's right now trying to hold on to 2nd. Dylan Stovall to his outside. Then it's Blake Rowe in the 71. And Van Meter able to hold on. He's in 5th. But boy, that gave a big lead to Shotko.
Yeah, Evan Shotko out on a cruise right now. He's got close to 2 seconds advantage over the rest of the field as they run, but that battle for second is heating up between Neary, Stovall, and Rowe.
That lead near 2 seconds here as they cross the stripe here at lap 44. Yeah, 1.9 second advantage for the 22 of Evan Shotko, and it's that great door-to-door battle. Neary and Stovall, neither one wants to give up that runner-up position, but Stovall, who's got a lot of laps here, able to find something he likes up top.
Well, Evan Shotko at the front of the field, Roger, has only one career win on the UARA Tour. It was a big one, though. He picked up the win at the Battle of Berlin in 2022. He'd like to equal that success here today and double his win count. And he looks to be in a pretty good position, but you know there's at least one caution that's going to remain on the cards for the rest of this race.
And we are about 29 laps away from that break, which is scheduled for lap 75. Look out, boy, the 71 there almost made some big-time contact there with the 97 machine. That's Rowe in the 71. Neary in the 97, and Neary drops back a couple of spots as Van Meter gets by him as well.
Boy, Crump and Berta really have not moved much since the restart. I don't know if it's due to damage on the vehicles or what, but those two are just kind of puttering around at the back.
Well, if their strategy is going to play out and the rest of the field goes in at lap 75, it will play in pretty good hands for them. Let's keep our car in one piece. We almost got into a big mess early on. Let's stay back here, make sure to stay on the lead lap and see how things shape up for the second 75. As we watch, Stovall is starting to reel in your leader. He's knocked that 2-second lead down to 1.1 seconds. So Stovall has put the coal in the engine. He's starting to get it up to 88 mile an hour.
Well, the little engine that could in that second spot. He had that huge wreck earlier this season at the Berlin Raceway and backed it up with a strong qualifying performance once they broke out the backup car. And Stovall's one of those drivers that has been really looking for a breakout performance, and he's showing some muscle here. He's ran that lead that Shotko had that was nearly 2 seconds down to just a hair over 1 second. So he's eating away at the advantage and could spell some trouble for Shotko as we get closer to the midway point.
And one car we haven't talked about much, Austin Hull, out of Greenville in that Town and Country Carpet Quick Time Auto. Toyota has gotten himself up to the 5th spot in car number 20. So he's been able to find himself quietly back there in that 5th spot. Field well pretty well spread out at this point in time. Everyone with at least a car length or two or more, separating themselves from the nearest competitor, minus the two at the back, Berta and Crump in the number 90. As we are at lap number 55, 95 to go, 20 to go before we get to the 5-minute break.
Now, did Crump and Berta change tires when they were on pit road? I know Berta had the hood open.
I believe that
no, that's not good.
Flames coming out the headers there in the number 90. Makes you think maybe something might be a bigger issue in that 90 car. I thought that I saw Berta take some tires, but they seem to be addressed. They spend more time addressing whatever was going on under the hood.
Well, I was going to say, if it's not a motor issue and he was able to get the tires changed, I wonder if he's playing the long game here, maybe waiting for that break at the middle of the race where everyone else will most likely get tires and he can capitalize by staying out on the track and gaining some positions.
Yeah, it's not a bad strategy. Like we said earlier, with the drivers racing each other hard here at the front of the field. Let's save the equipment and save it for the end.
To finish first, you must first finish.
Yes. So at lap number 60, Evan Shotko, your race leader, 0.8 seconds ahead of Dylan Stovall. Blake Rowe in 3rd, Billy Van Meter in 4th, Austin Hull in 5th. Then it's Steve Dorr, Michael Atwell back up to 7th, Michael Simcoe 8th, Nick Neary 9th and 10th, Clarity Patton. Boy, Clarity would be absolutely ecstatic to get herself a top 10 in a race like this.
Yeah, this is, I'm pretty sure, her first national super late model race. She is in her late model sportsman car, but still out there on the same track as some of the big names and putting in a respectable run, not getting herself in over her head. And you know what? Again, she's out there and she's running, and that's more than a lot of drivers can say.
Well, and she picked up a lot during her qualifying effort as Van Meter now moves into the third spot. Just took the spot away from Rowe using the inside line down the back straightaway. But going back to clarity, she picked up a lot from practice to qualifying, and she was still, she was still within the same second bracket as the rest of the field as the caution has come out. We've got a car spun.
Steve Dorr up
again
against the wall over in turn 1 and 2.
Dorr was in the 6th position at the time, and not certain if he had any contact or any help. Everyone seemed to have been pretty well spread out.
Yeah, it looks
around
like
the speedway.
Looks like he's moving around in the car, so that's a good sign.
Oh, it sounds like from hearing in the radio, he might have the steering wheel off, so he might be having he might be done there, as looks like he's taken the gloves off and the helmet. So that all-star performance, race car engineering #1 for Dorr, the pole sitter of this Love's Travel Stop 150, has come to an end as he's getting out of that ride. He's getting out of there rather gingerly there, so. Taking a moment here to allow him to gather himself. Almost looks like he's definitely having a issue with his foot, so they're going to take a quick look at him. So we bring you to 85, or 85 to go, 65 complete. We're 10 away from the 5-minute break, as Shotko has led the majority. Stovall to second. He'll get another opportunity on the restart to go after that top spot, maybe lead at the halfway point. Billy Van Meter in third. Blake Rowe fourth, Alston Hull in fifth. That'll move Michael Simcoe up to, Michael Atwell to sixth, Michael Simcoe seventh. Then Neri, Patton, and Chase Burden now back in the top 10.
Well, Michael Atwell back to pit road. They've been continuing to work on that car, trying to get it right for Michael. He was running 6th before that caution.
Looks like maybe adjusting fuel or air pressure on those tires. And I got the back end completely jacked up here, so, and it looks like they're addressing the left rear, or maybe the brakes or something in that car that they're, I see somebody kneeling in that wheel well there on the left rear. Some said they were concerned, if you can keep the brakes in there, you have a really good shot to compete. But if one of them or if any of them start going, it's going to be a long day, and that might be the case.
Is that a pressure gauge that he's?
Yeah, it looked like they were playing with air pressure stuff there. As they work on the right rear of the McCreary tire there.
Yeah, that's actually Dan Leake there working on that right rear.
Like
he's here with that
lugs.
team. The Mike Garvey ran team.
More tough break guy that had a lot of confidence out there. He had a great qualifying effort, backed up his practice speeds, and felt really, really good. As it sounds like at lap 65 will be our break. We'll take the 5-minute break here instead of at lap 75. This will allow the crews to take care of what they need to here on the speedway, and our drivers will get the opportunity to work on, and the crews will get the opportunity to work on their cars as we will take that 5-minute break. And again, a big thank you to Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores for their dedication to auto racing here at Owosso Speedway with their generous sponsorship One of the main reasons it's only $14 or less to get in here tonight and all of 2014, or 2024 rather. Was it 2014? It was 14 bucks. Hey, you know, reading's my second language.
Words are hard.
Yeah, they are, especially when you put them in a group. Founded in 1964, Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores is headquartered in Oklahoma City with over 600 locations across 42 states. They offer 24-hour access to clean and safe facilities for purchasing gasoline, diesel fuel, compressed natural gas, travel items, electronics, snacks, and restaurant offerings. Love's Truck Care provides heavy-duty tire care, including tire pass, light mechanical services, and roadside assistance. Love's Hospitality operates a network of hotels and storage rental locations. Additionally, Love's Financial offers freight bill factoring and back office support to professional drivers. With more than 38,000 employees, the Love's family of companies includes travel stops, Speedco locations, country stores, corporate offices in Oklahoma City, Musket Corporation, Trillium, and Gemini Motors Transport for nationwide fuel transportation. Their dedicated employees strive to assist customers and support the communities they serve. For further details about the Love's family of companies and their comprehensive services, please visit loves.com.
And, of course, we got some of our great sponsors that are on hand for the big show today. I want to thank Alderman's Kubota for coming out. We make great use of their equipment here at the track on a daily basis. I saw Joe from Gross Construction walking around out here with the family. Another one of our great divisional sponsors. Thanks for coming out, Joe. Again, putting on a facility like this, putting it all together takes a lot of great partners. So we do appreciate all of our sponsors out here at the Speedway that have made racing possible and made it possible for us to put shows on like this at just a $14 general admission ticket. Just about the cheapest for this kind of show you're going to find anywhere in the country.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a few more shows left this season, including this Saturday, our Young Chevrolet Championship night for all of our house divisions, including our modifieds, late model sportsmen, street stocks, pure stocks, trucks, sport compacts, and the mini wedges will be out for championship night, brought to you by Young Chevrolet. And then just a week later on Saturday, and actually make it Friday because we've got some activities going on Friday, September 20th. We start the iconic Owosso Nationals. These are the cars that are going to be running that entire weekend. Saturday show, Outlaw Super Late Models, 100-lap Outlaw Super Late Model show. Reveal the Hammer Tour will be here for their 5th and final event with us this season. Late Model Sportsmen in action, pure stocks, trucks, compacts, mini wedges. We expect we're going to get a ton of cars. And then we come back on Sunday for the CRH Eggs Tour will be here. Modified, street stocks. So, and Friday, by the way, we've got heat races. We've got wedges, I think, on
Mini
Friday.
wedges, yep.
And we're going to have a live band. We got fireworks Friday and Saturday night. We've got all kinds of things going. It's the big blowout party for the iconic Owosso Nationals. Join us. We've got camping available, Chris.
Yep.
So give us a ring or reach out to us at info@owossospeedway.com. Find out how you can get yourself a camping spot and enjoy your whole weekend here at Owosso Speedway. Not this weekend, upcoming weekend. That's the 20th, 21st, and 22nd.
Yeah, not the weekend that's in 2 days, but the weekend that's in a week from 2 days, 3 days.
Clear as mud. And then we got the best part we saved for last. We're gonna break stuff on the 28th, Saturday night, for our final Destruction Overload. We've got school buses, we've got stacker cars, we've got trailers, we've got boats, we've got endurals, we've got jump races, we've got all kinds of stuff. We're going to tear up a lot of stuff here for Destruction Night to close out the 2024 season here at Owosso Speedway. So everyone, get working on their cars here.
Yeah, we're closing in on the 1 minute mark left in the 5 minute break. At that point, if anybody's still working on their cars, they'll have to restart at the back of the field.
As cars start to roll their way out. My assumption is they'll get lined up as they went in, which would put Shotko again out front, Stovall, Van Meter, Rowe, and Hull, your top 5. Take a look at that beautiful Owosso Speedway official pace car. Big thank you to Agnew Sign Company. They do so much of our logos and our anything that we need creatively. Agnew Sign Company just steps up and knocks it out of the park.
Let me tell you, Roger, I screwed up today.
Oh, what?
Well,
Jeez,
actually,
hold on, let me write
I
this
screwed
down.
up earlier in the week.
Okay.
So Agnew
2?
Signs designs a really cool Facebook banner ad for us every week.
Okay.
Well, somebody, when realized we were racing Wednesday, forgot all about Saturday. So I never sent them a request for the Facebook ad. I messaged Agnew today. I said, hey, I screwed up. I need this in a rush. They said, no problem. 20 minutes later, I had completed artwork in my email, ready to go live on Facebook at the conclusion of this race.
So you will not need me to break out my crayons and colored pencils to make that banner? Doggone her.
Nope, Karen down at Agnew bailed me out again.
Well, thank you, Karen. You bailed us all out, and
Much better than Linda in finance.
yeah, well, she's never helpful.
No.
Oh, can't believe you brought her up on such a joyous day.
Well, it is only a Wednesday.
So the field that makes its way out, it doesn't look like anybody's still on the pit road. It looks like everyone's put themselves in line as they went in. So she'll be ready for the final 85 lap dash to the finish of this one. And looks like Bert is going to come back in. And the field's going to get the one to go signal.
Well, he must have a big issue because that is not an opportune time to head to pit road.
Not at all.
When the rest of the field's getting ready to take the green.
And during that break, they had the hood, the roof off again, but apparently when he's heard one to go, I guess I'll just do his drive-through and go right back to the back.
Maybe he took the short way around trying to save some fuel.
The 725th mile?
Yeah, the 725th mile. Some 4D chess going on by Chase Berta as the green flag is back out.
Shotko with the advantage, but it's going to be three wide.
He's getting swallowed up on exit. Dylan Stovall has to back out of it, but Billy Van Meter not going to back out of it. He's now back alongside Shotko. Remember, he was in this position earlier on in the race, and unfortunately the back end of the car tried to pass the front end, and he lost ground to Shotko.
Well, Shotko just shot himself right out to the front. Boy, he put a few car lengths out there between himself and Van Meter. He's got a hornet's nest behind him with Blake Rowe and Stovall. Stovall, the big loser in that one, he falls all the way back to 4th in that 24.
Yeah, Stovall was the one on the outside when himself and Van Meter both tried to go around Shotko. He was the one that was smart enough to back out of it, unfortunately paying the price as he gives up a couple spots.
Yeah, does he pay the price now and gain later? That's what we shall see as Hull now wants to take his shot at getting around the 24 machine. He'll dive to the inside out of 4.
Yeah, I got to say Austin Hull has been very impressive in this portion of the race. Not a name that you've seen too terribly much in the big touring races, but he's held his own here in the early running. Been consistently in or near the top 5 for several laps.
Trying to get up to that 4th spot. Stovall a bit too high in turns 1 and 2. Opens the door now for Atwell to get back to the top 5, possibly for the first time in this race for that fast qualifier. Started outside of row number 3. Now he's up to 5th. And Chase Berta from the back of the field now, he's going for that 6th spot. He pulls to the inside of Stovall for the position.
Yeah, Atwell looks a lot more comfortable than he has at any point in the race before this. After taking the initial green, he really struggled to maintain position and lost a few positions on that start. And ever since we've gone back to green from the midpoint break, he has looked like he's got a little more control on that 14 car.
Well, all the control right now belongs to Evan Shotko, continuing to set the pace here at lap number 73. Van Meter back about 0.7 of a second. Then it's Blake Rowe in the 71. Then it's a big gap back to Hull and Atwell.
Well, I thought with how aggressive he was, maybe the 23 of Van Meter had something for Shotko at the front of the field, but he's kind of lagged back a little bit. As we do reach the halfway point, 75 in, 75 to go. Shout out Ace Hart for showing the cross flags because I wasn't paying attention until I saw him.
Well, Van Meter, you know, he's pretty, he's excited about that Van Dorn race car.
Well, he's got the Van Dorn race car running right behind him, that 71 that Blake Rowe rides right now. He actually had Johnny Van Dorn showing up with that crew today, so if we're talking about Van Dorn cars, that's the one that's the most Van Dorn.
Still no change in that top 5. Everyone minding their P's and Q's as laps click down here. I would expect the intensity to start to heat up once we get to about 30 to go. Everyone wanting to save their piece for the end, making maybe Shotko have to work those tires a little harder than he maybe wanted to. But again, this is a harder tire compound, so maybe there won't be much tire drop off.
Well, it looks like Chase Berta in the 18's woken up a little bit. He's now caught up to the back of your fast qualifier. 14 of Michael Atwell trying to get back up into the top 5.
And about a car length back of that 14 machine is Billy Van Meter trying to chase down Evan Shotko. That gap now just under 0.8 of a second. So keeping fairly consistent, not losing much, not gaining much either. Blake Rowe firmly in the 3rd spot. Hull is broken away from Atwell and Berta, running alone in the 4th position. Now, not being a race car driver, you wonder when you get into a race like this where the field's pretty well spread apart, you don't have anyone really pushing you, do you get yourself into a false sense of security that, or get into that lull, like when you're driving down the expressway taking the same route over and over and over again, that you're really not paying attention to what you're doing, you're just doing it?
Well, that's got me kind of wondering about the strategy that Billy Van Meter might be playing here. He's not really losing a lot of ground, but he's also not running down Evan Shotko. Now, is he saving his stuff, waiting to attack later? Or is Shotko just maintaining his lead? It's one of those things that we don't know up here, not being in the cars, but it's also very likely that those two don't know what the other one has as well. It's this really cool poker game that makes racing really cool, wondering who maybe has an ace high.
And you're right there. He's not gaining out. If he gains a little. If he loses a little. And he's been between 0.8 and 0.9 of a second now for about the last 10 laps. That's the distance he's been behind your race leader. So, yeah, it makes you wonder, is he just kind of holding back, saving it, and just keeping him in his sights? Or if he's giving it all he's got.
And to that note as well, you have Blake Rowe there in 3rd, who knows this track very well, has had a lot of laps here, and has had success on this new surface. So Blake Rowe is not a dummy for sure, so he's got to have some strategy in mind as he continues to click off laps in 3rd, just about equidistance between himself and Van Meter as Van Meter is to Shotko.
Well, all the cars on the track are all on the lead lap, and this may be the first time that the leaders might have to deal with some lap traffic as Clarity Patton about a half a straightaway in front of your race leader, Evan Shotko. But that's how tight this field was today, that they've gone 91 laps, and no one's been a lap down, at least hasn't lost a lap racing on the track.
Yeah, and this hasn't been a race of excessive cautions. We've had 3 cautions, including the halfway break?
And the majority of those in the first 20 laps. So Clarity Patton will be one of those that she's not usually difficult to get around. If she knows the leaders are coming up, she usually stays out of harm's way, and she'll stay up to the top while Shotko makes his way by on the inside. And again, that lead still around 0.8 of a second over Van Meter.
But Van Meter's not necessarily catching Clarity at a convenient spot in the track. He caught her in the center of the corner and then was right behind her on corner exit.
And he's finally going to get by there going into turn number 3. But yeah, Clarity was not as easy to pass as it was for Shotko.
Yeah, and Van Meter has paid the price as he's lost about 2/10 that last lap, putting him back near the territory he was before he made that little bit of a charge on Shotko.
And Rowe now trying to get by, and he's got his hands full as well. Now that time Clarity stays way up on that high side now as the 71 of Blake Rowe will make his way by. Stovall getting to the back bumper of Chase Berta. This is a battle for the 6th spot. Just went down the front straightaway. Only about 2 races that are really, really close. It's 6th and 7th and 8th and 9th between the 97 and Nick Neary and Michael Simcoe's number 45 as they battle for 9th and 10th, or 8th and 9th make that.
Yeah, the back half of the top 10 is really, really strung out. They're all pretty well apart, except for Stovall and Berta there, right at the right in 6th and 7th. Those two are getting a little. Ooh, wow! Berta looked like he lost a lot of ground coming off of turn 4 there.
We've just completed lap 100 as Shotko makes his way out of 4. We're at lap 101, so 49 laps remain with Shotko your leader, Van Meter in 2nd, Blake Rowe in 3rd, 4th is Austin Hull, Michael Atwell in 5th, 6th spot Chase Berta, Dylan Stovall in 7th, Nick Neary 8th, 9th is Michael Simcoe, and 10th is Clarity Patton, the last car out there on the speedway. She's 1 lap down. And your leaders coming up quickly to a pair of drivers that have been nose to tail for the majority of this second half so far, and that is the Neary machine and Michael Simcoe. They're within about a half a straightaway, Shotko is, getting to that battle, and both of those drivers are racing like maybe they're running for 5th spot.
Yeah, those two drivers are racing for position. And it is racing etiquette to get out of the way of faster cars, but it's not like they don't have anything on the line themselves. So it'll be interesting to see what they do as lead lap cars get to them. If they decide to roll over and maybe let their battle resume later, or if they're going to not pay attention to what's around them and keep fighting for that position.
Well, we shall see, because Simcoe gets right to the back bumper of Neary each and every time they get right to just about where they accelerate on exit. And boy, Simcoe gets so close to that 97, I think he's going to tap him about every time, but now something's going to have to give as the leaders have caught those two.
Well, this is exactly what Billy Van Meter wanted. As Shotko tries to find a way around those two leaders, Shotko goes to the outside to try to get around Simcoe. He's going to use Simcoe as a pick.
Yeah, Shotko, they're able to make the pass on Simcoe. Van Meter, no place else to go but the top side as well. But now that lead has evaporated for Shotko as he dives to the inside of Neary. He can't make that pass yet down the back chute, but Van Meter just trying to stay with him as he's going to dive to the inside. Neary stuck on that top side. Your leader's going to go by on the problems back straightaway. Berta and Stovall get together.
Caution on the speedway is Chase Berta and Dylan Stovall were leaning on each other a little bit. Berta goes around. I'm not sure what exactly precipitated that, but those two had been fighting pretty hard for a number of laps.
I was looking at the battle there at the front of the field, and I saw Pointer's fingers going towards the back straightaway, and just as I saw that, Stovall and Berta had gotten together. And not sure if Berta was trying to get to the pits or if he just got a bad exit or they were side by side and touched. Could not see did not see, as my reaction time was a little bit slow. But Berta has made his way back to the pit area here. And Rob Berta and the crew going to take a look at that number 18. Young man out of Lapeer. One of those that came up many-time national champion in the USAC quarter midgets before moving over to dirt at 13 years of age, and started street stocks and moved to modifieds, then dirt late models, then Jags Tour, and where he ends up being a champion. He's Master of the Pros winner here, and here he is battling with the big ones in the UARA National Tour.
Yeah, and as much success as he's had on pavement the last few years, he still races that dirt late model. I've ran into him here before on a Friday where he's out here doing a test, and he said, okay, we got to wrap this up quick. I got to go over to whichever track he's running at that night. So he's putting in his time in both cars, and he's been a really versatile driver to be able to do that. I mean, you don't see that anymore where you have a lot of drivers that hop back and forth.
Not at all. As the field's stacked up, ready to go. The pace vehicle off into the infield. We're set to go back to green flag. 109 complete, 41 to go. And Van Meter with a great jump that time. And car 23 takes over the lead.
Boy, he sure did. Getting around the outside of Shotko, Van Meter takes the lead for the first time in this event.
After heartbreak early on, going after that lead for the first time, he certainly put the hammer down the front straightaway, and now he's got himself a 0.4 of a second lead over Shotko. Rowe holds on to the third spot. Hull and Atwell still your top 5.
Well, Van Meter has been on the verge of leading this race multiple times before he finally was able to get out front. I'm really interested to see how he maintains his pace now, because I wasn't convinced that Shotko was showing everything he had.
Well, I don't know.
I think he may have got his lunch ate on that restart, but I don't think in that last green flag run Shotko was showing everything he had.
Well, we'll see here on this lap 113 as Shotko a little bit faster than Van Meter, but that's by about 6/100ths of a second. Shotko quicker than Van Meter. Shotko just seems to be running more consistent laps at the 15.316 that time compared to 3.77 as he just kind of rides around that back bumper, sizing up what's the best direction to get around that number 23. Again, just about a similar lap for Shotko. You can only go as fast as the guy in front of you, right?
Well, I've seen video that shows otherwise, but it usually doesn't end well for at least one of them. But again, Shotko doesn't look very eager to get around Van Meter. He's not letting Van Meter pull away, but he's not attacking right now. He looks comfortable running behind the 23, and with 33 laps to go, Shotko has time if he wants to study what Van Meter's doing. But in the meantime, that 20 car of Austin Hull has caught up to the back of the 71 of Blake Rowe for that final podium spot. And we've talked about Hull a couple times as a driver that is looking to make a statement here today, is now at the front of the field. Shotko beginning to show his cards a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to say, he kind of stuck the nose out there in turn number 2. And again, he's been running at 3.16, 3.17, 3.16, 3.17 the last 4 laps. I mean, you can't get any more consistent than that. So he's got a little more there. He's just not, I guess you have a lot more options when you're running in second, perhaps, here with 30 laps to go, to really push the 23 into making a mistake and then making that pass cleaner. Well, but if it gets to the late laps, then he's got the opportunity to put a bumper to him.
It's sometimes better to be the hunter than the hunted.
Speaking of which, here comes Stovall. He wants 5th spot, pulls underneath that. Well, that battle door to door in turn 3. Stovall inside has the advantage. He'll move up to 5th.
Yeah, Stovall continuing to do a great job in this race. He's gone toe-to-toe with a lot of top-level competition and has not wavered at all as he continues his march forward.
Well, maybe a bit of the long game for the Stovall machine as far as his career is concerned. Go out there, have put on a good show, put your name out there a few times, and see if you can't keep getting that equipment better so that you are challenging for wins week after week, track after track.
Yeah, Stovall did not qualify to run inside of the invert, qualifying in the 10th position. So he's had to go about this race the hard way. He's stayed in it, which is more than a lot of the competition can say, but he's had to earn his way up through this field and is now ahead of Michael Atwell running in that 5th position.
126 as they cross the stripe this time by Oh boy, Simcoe into the back end of the 97. Those two are still racing like, yeah, 97 says, I think, go ahead. You can have it,
all
Michael.
right. You want it more.
So Neri drops behind. Now he'll behind the 45, but Berta off the pace again. Just a myriad of issues for that 18 machine as he is going to pull to the center of the infield. He's done for the event.
Yeah, that's been a real roller coaster of a day for Berta. So unfortunate to see it end like that, but he's definitely been battling problems of some form throughout the event. So not unexpected based on what we've seen, but definitely a heartbreaker.
Van Meter running 15.329. Shotko 15.396. Van Meter is running the quicker laps. That time 15.299. For your race leader is this time by going to be 20 laps to go for Billy Van Meter. Billy was so well relaxed, just leaning back, enjoying the autograph session. Just felt very good about the car.
Which is interesting because the first half of this race, it seemed like that car was ugly to drive. I mean, you saw him trying to make a pass for the lead, and the car almost went around on him. So Van Meter has had his struggles with the handle on that car, but
Clarity
yep, Clarity goes
Patton.
around. That'll draw the caution.
Oh, it's not what Billy Van Meter wanted to see. As Clarity Patton on lap 131 loops it just shy of the start-finish line here in this Loves Travel stop 150. And this will slow our field down at lap 131. Pay window, you hear that sound? That's the pay window creaking to open. Eric right now just trying to unlock it, unlatch it, lift it up, and start handing out checks as we get close. With 19 to go.
Got to turn on the microphone if I want to talk. Clarity able to get it spun around, so she'll tag on to the back of the field. We'll continue on once safety gets back to their perch. Looks like they may already be there.
Yeah,
oh, there they are.
They're going to go green next time by, actually. So a very, very quick caution, and we'll see if Van Meter now from the inside will get himself as good of a restart as he did last time, or did Shotko learn something?
And it's a good chance for Shotko to get some redemption after an ugly restart the last time.
Boy, they come by just about even. Matter of fact, the advantage was Shotko. 3 wide for a moment there going after Van Meter.
It looked like Van Meter had a moment of hesitation there off of turn 2.
Oh, that was a moment of hesitation.
Yeah, wow, Blake Rowe going to try the inside on the 20. Oh, they make contact, Van Meter and Shotko. And Blake Rowe going to capitalize. He moves to the inside of Shotko for the, or not Shotko, but Van Meter for the lead. Coming off of turn 4, Blake Rowe now finds himself out in front.
Well, Blake Rowe will lead that lap for the first time here today in car number 71. Boy, sat in third for a majority of this race. A late restart puts him at the front of the field while he watches the guys that have been leading the most of this race duke each other out and almost knock each other out as Van Meter now goes back to the inside. He'll try to challenge for the lead now.
Goes on the attack on the inside line. Rowe with the better drive off of the corner down the back straightaway into turn number 3. That Lisa Thomas Salon number 71 out in front with now just 15 laps to go.
Rowe, Van Meter, Shotko, Stovall, Hull, still your top 5, but it's starting to get dicey up front. Boy, oh boy. Van Meter got to the back bumper of Rowe. Now he's going to dive to the inside. He got a quarter panel underneath there and gets the 71 a bit out of shape. Now he'll try to drag race down the back straightaway. Inside for Van Meter in the 23. Here they come, Chris.
And Blake Rowe in that 71. He is very much an eye for an eye driver. Van Meter got the elbows out, but don't be surprised if Rowe returns the favor here in short order.
Shotko still in third, watching this battle go on. This time by a dozen laps to go, Van Meter out front.
Well,
nose to tail.
Top 5 nose to tail. Stovall thinking about taking a peek on the 22 of Shotko, as now Rowe beginning to lose touch a little bit with the 23 of Van Meter.
Front 5 now as they've lost touch with Atwell. Atwell running in the 6th spot, not the day he was hoping for. And that number 14, Clarity Patton off the pace this time. On the apron, looks like she'll make her way to the pit area. This time by 10 laps to go.
71 of Blake Rowe continuing to size up. The 23 of Billy Van Meter at the front of the field. Laps continuing to click down, coming to 9 to go. First battle on the track right now is the one for 4th as the 20 of Austin Hull tries to take the spot back from the 24 of Dylan Stovall.
Van Meter out by 0.4 of a second. Look at the battle now for that 4th spot. Like Chris mentioned, Hull on the inside of Stovall. Somehow they make it through 4 without touching, and Hull's going to take over that 4th spot. Stovall to 5th, but they'll crisscross. Stovall now down to the inside.
Yeah, Stovall with a great switch back there to the inside of Hull now. He'll have the better line off of turn 4, but Hull holds the position. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, Billy Van Meter continuing to grow the gap over the 71 of Blake Rowe. Was over a half second that last lap.
Stovall took over that 4th spot, but again, Hull then crisscross went to the inside. Can't make it work. 6 laps remaining. Can Van Meter hold on? Watching if there's going to be a late race caution. If there is, it's going to be between the 24 and the 20 because these two giving it all they got, and this is the battle for the 4th spot.
Now, Van Meter has had a pretty solid season as he's had top 5 finishes this year, both at the Redbud 400 down at Anderson and over at the Milwaukee Mile, 2 tracks that are vastly different from what we have here today. But he has been craving a trip to victory lane, and as the lead continues to grow, we're inside of 5 laps to go. Van Meter leads him down the back straightaway, and he is, oh boy, a 3-wide battle for 3rd.
Yeah.
Problems for Shotko.
Yeah, something's up with Shotko. He's well off the pace from what he was doing earlier, and now he's just trying to hold on as Stovall's going to take over the 3rd spot, hold the 4th, and Shotko's falling outside the top 5.
Well, Hull still fighting back on the 24 of Stovall, so that battle continuing on.
Oh, they touched.
Yeah, Stovall walked up the track a little bit after some door-to-door contact. But this time by Roger, we're heading into turn 3 for the penultimate time. This time around, Billy Van Meter will see the white flag. 1 lap to go.
Billy Van Meter out in front. Nice advantage, 1.13 seconds for this young man as he makes his way down the back straightaway. I told you he was relaxed. He's going to be even more relaxed by the end of this one as he comes out of turn 4 to win the Love's Travel Stop 150. Bill Van Meter with the win. Blake Rowe will finish in 2nd.
Austin Hull hangs on for the podium spot. Dylan Stovall 5th. Evan Shotko will limper home in 6th. Nick Neary 7th. Michael Simcoe 8th. Then Clarity Patton and Chase Berta will be scored at the back end of the top 10. Well, race fans, your field will head down to Gross Construction Victory Lane. You can see that beautiful trophy by Horvath Designs HD5 getting ready to go to your winner. So Roger Williams going to head down to Victory Lane to get a word with your top finishers. Billy already out of the car, the crew right there to congratulate.
Well, Billy Van Meter, well, the last one I talked to before the start of this race, getting congratulated by his crew. And wow, talking about a nice run here for you. First time you went for the lead, it went a little wonky. What happened there?
Honestly, it was just a lot of close racing. I think he thought he had more of a run being a super to pro. So I think he tried to close the door. I was there, but I saved that thing and kept on digging, you know what I mean?
As we get late in this race, you had the opportunity to be alongside Mr. Shotko for a restart, and you just smoked him at the line, and your restarts were phenomenal. Talk about coming down to that green flag, because this car just seemed to have a lot of giddy up and go.
Honestly, I need to thank that to iRacing. Those restarts at iRacing. You know, you got to time those starts, look for the guy to hesitate, and then take off on him.
Big win for you. Got to make it great for the second half of the season as you go on. Talk about all the people that put their hands on this car and everyone that makes it go fast for you.
So I got to thank Butch Van Dorn, Johnny Van Dorn, Carl, Ethan, Kyle Crump, just all the Van Dorn guys. Honestly, it's kind of a monkey off my back. I ain't won in a minute, and I'll appreciate this one a lot. And I'm really happy it comes with a big old paycheck.
Can you believe that? We even pay for the winners.
Oh, yeah.
Look, we got a beautiful trophy. You see this trophy? Beautiful trophy, too, here, winning for this Loves Travel. It even lights up, I believe.
Lights up?
Yeah, lights up. Tonight, when you go to bed, if you go to bed, you turn it on, and it'll lull you to sleep.
I always told my boy that I gave him a trophy that was the nightlight. Well, it appears that I already got one.
Well, congratulations to you, man. We appreciate you being here at Owosso Speedway.
Thank you.
How about it one more time? Billy Van Meter picking up the win in the Loves Travel Stop 150. We'll try to find Blake Rowe here in the number 71, finishing in the second spot. And Blake, one position just shy, but boy, you sat third for the majority of that race, and then you saw the opportunity. Talk about the closing laps there and you trying to go after that win.
Yeah, man, I hate second place. I really do. I hate finishing second here at Owosso more than anything. This is home, but I've got to say I'm really proud of the Van Dorn group for bringing this thing home 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm really proud of Billy for the growth he's had. Him and Butch have really worked hard at that program over the last few years, and I had a blast racing with them, man. So big congrats to the Van Meters. I just got to thank the 71 group for sticking with me, man. Precision Fleet Image, Lisa Thomas Salons, Van Dorn Racing Development, the K-Mac family, the Van Dorns, my parents, Cade and Abby, my girlfriend. We've got a heck of a crew here, man, and I wish I could have brought this thing home for them, but we were real close, and we'll try to capitalize on it at Nationals.
All right, well, picking up a second place finish here today, Blake Rowe. Congratulations for second.
Thank you very much.
I know you hate second. Well, I'm guessing as they line up here, Austin Hull finishing in the third spot. Austin, we kind of mentioned throughout the race, you were just quietly back there in fifth, kind of biding your time. And then suddenly we get to the last 25 laps to go, and that 20 comes to life. Talk about your run to the third position.
Yeah, my crew chief made an awesome call at the break and got us some good tires and a little bit more turn. And man, that's a tough race out here. I mean, there's a lot of really good cars out here, but you know, I think Dylan Stovall and I showed him how it's done out here. All the crossovers, beating on doors, keeping it straight, and racing it all the way to the end.
Well, it was a great run for. We appreciate you being here at Owosso Speedway. You want to thank your sponsors and all that?
Yeah, I want to thank Town and Country Carpets, Best Regal Law, Van Dorn Racing for putting together a hell of a race car, Product 41, QuickTime Automotive, Integrity Exterior Air Solutions, Angela's Italian Restaurant, Embrace Chiropractic, Downtown Trinity's Margarita Joe's, and just all the fans for coming out on a weeknight.
Well, congratulations, Austin Hill, finishing third here in the Loves Travels Stops 150. Don't forget, we are going to do 50-50 there. They are counting and ripping tickets right now as we move our way through. As Dylan Stovall had quite an eventful afternoon, but takes it home into the top 5. Talk about your run out there today, because you had some struggles, but you had some successes out there too.
Yeah, man, I can't thank Van Dorn and all them guys enough. We fired off really good in that race, and took tires and got a little snug, fell to the back, and drove our way to the front. I don't know about anybody in the stands, but me and the 20, I think, put on the best show of the night. A lot of these other guys, you touch them and they spin. That was hard racing if you've ever seen it.
Well, it was a lot of fun to watch, and you'll enjoy the replay of that. But a little bit of tape on there, a little bit of damage. That'll all buff out. Why don't you go ahead and thank your sponsors?
Yeah, absolutely. Nick Hutcherson and Hutcherson Construction. He's a car owner, man. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. We got Carter Lumber, Van Dorn, C-Tech, Superior Lawns, Van Dam Cruisinga, Classic Concrete, Southwest Roofing, and Ganache Masonry, man. They make it all work. I'm just a kid that wants to go racing. These guys make it possible.
Well, congratulations on the great run.
Thank you.
All right, Dylan Stovall finishing in the top 5 today. And Michael Atwell over here, and you can see the dejection on his face. Not the afternoon you were hoping for.
Talk about the car.
Yeah, we either missed it or we got something moving in the rear end of the car. So it was terrible the whole night. We pitted, tried to fix it, and never made it better. So just fought as hard as we could, and ended up with a top 5. So I guess that counts for something.
Wow. Yeah, as fast as you were, I got to imagine, yeah, it's going to be a big chip on your shoulder at the next race you go to, I'm sure.
Yeah, hopefully we can go to the big league with UARA and get a big win there.
Want to go ahead and thank your sponsors?
Yeah, I can't thank Mike Garvey, Chris Davidson, Davidson Electric, Universal Transmissions, Drake Ready Mix, everybody from Naples that helps out, and the whole team that works their tails off week in, week out. I couldn't do it without all of them, and thank you to the fans for coming out and supporting short track racing.
Thanks for persevering and for your 5th place finish.
Of course, thank you.
And we've got our 50-50 ticket has been drawn. It is, oh, this is how much it is. We haven't drawn it quite yet. It's worth $1,557.50. So if you stuck around, you're going to get $1,557.50 here. We'll let Billy Van Meter enjoy his photo here, and we'll have him pick the winning ticket here momentarily. If I can get him down from cloud 9 over here. With that Love's Travel Stops 150, that $15,000 check. That's going to be hard to pull through the drive-through. Billy, we got one more thing for you to do here real quick. If you get to make one more person happy, Billy, by pulling out a winning 50-50 ticket number for us. He's going to go to the very, very bottom. Light green ticket. It's a light green ticket, so I just disappointed a whole bunch of people. 619752. 619752. If you have ticket number 619752, head on down by the souvenir stand and claim your $1,557 as the Montrose Fire Department, Montrose Fire Department raising some good funds here today. Thanks for being out here, guys. And Chris, the Love's Travel Stop 150 is now complete. Your closing comments.
Well, first off, thanks everybody for coming out on a Wednesday evening to be with us here at the Owosso Speedway. We appreciate each and every single one of you, and we hope to see you back on Saturday for season championship night, a big show with a whole lot of racing jammed into it. On behalf of Roger Williams and myself, the Wheeler family, and the staff and management here at the Owosso Speedway, thank you for coming out. Be safe in your travels home, and we'll see you soon.